Hey guys, and welcome back to episode 43 of Serenity Farms. This is day 4 of spring. We are in mid-spring still, and as you can see by the forecast, it is warmed up a little bit. We now have ground and air temperature of 46 degrees. We've still got the weird forecast for the second day of summer of 65 degrees air temperature and 45 degrees ground temperature. Which is really strange because day 1 of summer it's 65 with the ground temp at 53. Nothing changes as far as the air temp goes, yet the ground temp drops 8 degrees overnight on to day 2, and then back to 50 degrees day 3. And what concerns me on that is obviously our soybeans. We can't plant soybeans after the second day of summer. And soybeans need a temperature of 50 degrees to germinate. So we may not be able to get soybeans or corn to germinate this year if we don't get that temperature up. So we're just kind of hanging out, seeing what things are going to happen. We're going to put sugar beet in the ground today in field 22, which is our little square postage stamp field. And then we're going to put canola in our big field 11, which is our merged 11 and 12. This is also going to be the last episode of spring. I am going to plant our sunflowers off camera and take us from day 4 of spring into day 1 of summer. So next time that we come back together, we will be in day 1 of summer, and hopefully we'll be able to see what on earth is going to happen with respect to our ground temperature. As you can see, our money situation, we have now got nearly $1.5 million in the bank. We have sold a fair bit of product off camera. Specifically dairy products, sugar, fuel, pallets, fruit, all kinds of various things. We are holding on to our pigs, so we haven't sold our pigs quite yet, and we've got 166 of them, basically according to our glance HUD. We're up to 114 cows and 122 sheep. And those sheep have been pounding out the wool. I think we got close to 4 full pallets at this point in the last 3 game days, because we took some wool to market on episode 40. I remember Rockhound helping us load that up. So I hope you all are enjoying the season's play of Serenity Valley. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if you all are playing seasons on Serenity Valley 2, version 2, Rise of Industry. Now that it has been made seasons compatible with respect to being able to launch seasons with the map, and also seasons ready because it's got some snow mask in it. Almost done here. This field is almost this planter is almost way too big for this field. Thankfully there's plenty of room to turn around. If this little field was fenced in, then it would be a ridiculous effort to try to use this thing in here. We also, off camera, restocked our greenhouses with manure and water. They had both run out of manure and water, so we needed to restock them. And we also took the rest of our manure that we had piled up in our pits and sent that off to the manure buy point. Oops, there went the canola. All right. So we're going to get spun around here, and we're going to use the new course play feature to auto-generate a course from our current position. Alright, so let's do this, and we are on, this is the wrong field. We don't want to be on this field. We want to do field 11. We're going to hit our little eyeball and make sure that that's seeing all of the field. Looks like it is. We'll wait till we get closer to verify. So we're planning on putting, what are we putting in here? We're going to put sunflowers in this big field. Looking at my planting chart, it looks like that definitely is the right field, field 11. Current position, we're going to do one headland. So let's get positioned over here where we want to start. Alright, let's do that, and let's generate a course. Wants to go that way. So let's see what the course looks like. Oh, is that new? I don't remember that little carrot being there before. That's pretty interesting. All right. It's kind of odd that we are at an angle, but anyway, we'll let it run and see how well it works. The animation on this seeder really does get me every time. Those are really nice animations. We have canola in that field. All right, we're going to do the no-no and teleport down here, and go ahead and fertilize up this field. I believe it needs fertilizer. Yes, it does. No, we don't want to quit. This should take no time at all to get fertilized. So let me know if you guys are watching the Old Guy Farms challenge that I'm doing. That's where we have 3 years to earn as much money as possible. I'd like to know if you all are watching it and if you all are enjoying those streams or replays of those streams. It's kind of different gameplay. We are basically focusing on being a grass-only operation, and we're only going to be making silage bales. And when we're not busy doing silage bales, or we're waiting for the grass to go, we're going to be doing forestry. So it's all about doing grass and silage wrapping and forestry as fast as possible, because we have to play on 15 times speed. So it's going to benefit us to see how much we can get done as quickly as we can get done. Alright. So we got that field done. It looks like our grass is coming up nicely. We should be in a position to mow some grass early in summertime. And since we've got such an abundance of grass in our silos, and we've got all of our silos are full of silage. Some of them have grass basically waiting to convert to silage. We just need to make some room in the silo. And we've got over 600,000 liters of silage, or grass, sorry, in our silos. We don't really need any grass, but we're going to mow it anyway. And we're just going to basically make silage bales and sell those. So that's coming up in the summer. So we're just bringing our fertilizer spreader up here to stage it so that we can fertilize this field once we're done planting. Put it over here. In the shade, of course. No need on having things heat up. So we're just going to wait for our seeder to come around, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so we're going to actually go ahead and stop our course play driver, and we're just going to take over here and see how much of this we can get planted in the next little bit. Alright, it looks like we're going to need to fill our seeder back up. So we'll just stop it here. Let's drop it down. Open up the lid. Let's open up the lid on the top there. And let's figure out where our seed truck is. I think it's right here. Yep. Oh, looks like we're going to need some seed before we can fill up our seeder. Let's take the cover off. Looks like we quite have the lineup on that. There we go. Should try to stay off the field. Alright, so we filled that one up. And while the front only holds 1,500, it does help extend the range of this seeder. Back in our truck and get him off the field. See the seed going down. All of these big bud seeders are really expensive if you have to fill them up from a fill point where you would buy seed. All right. We shouldn't need him again, but we'll just go ahead and leave him over here just in case. Yep, there's our seed. We got a good seed. Alright, let's close our lid. And let's get back to it. Alright, so we're almost done this field. I'd like to go ahead and start closing out this episode. I want to thank you guys for watching, and if you like this video, please consider clicking the like button. If you have not subscribed and you would like to get notifications of additional content, please go ahead and click the subscribe button. We do play series on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here at Serenity Valley. We've got 7 episodes left after this one until we close out the map, but don't let that discourage you if you're just now coming across the series, because we've got 42 other episodes that precede this to get caught up on. We're in day 4 of spring. Once we close this episode out, like I said, we're going to go ahead and do some off-screen work and come back the next episode on the first day of summer. We should have our soybeans to plant, but our corn should be in the ground, hopefully, and our sunflowers should hopefully be in the ground by the time we come back for the first day of summer. I think a lot of it's going to play as to what the forecast looks like as we move forward. So as you can see, day 5 of spring, we have 68 for an air temp and 48 for a ground temp. Friday, day 6 of spring, which is the last day of spring, which is basically the equivalent of May, the month of May. 6-day seasons. So the way it works out actually is if we're doing 6-day seasons, that means that so a season is 3 months. So that's 2 months or 2 game days per month. Sorry about that. So we are in game day 4 of spring. So mid-spring is April, the equivalent of April for us in the northern hemisphere. I can't talk today. Days 5 and 6 of spring is the equivalent of May. Days 1 and 2 of summer is June. Days 3 and 4 of summer is July. Days 5 and 6 are obviously August. And then autumn starts in September, and then runs September, October, and November. And winter is December, January, and February. That's how it all works out. So we are in the last day of the equivalent of the second half of April. We will be basically doing the entire month of May off camera, and we'll come back the first half of June, which is apparently a fairly cool start to the summer. At air temp is 65. The ground temp is coming up at 53. But again, we still have the concern of the ground temp on the second half of June because it lists it being 45 degrees. And according to our planting schedule, we need a minimum of 50 degrees for corn and soybeans to germinate. And day 2 is the last planting day of corn and soybeans. So do we plant corn and soybeans before day 2? Do we plant day 2 hoping that when day 3 comes around we'll be above 50 degrees and we'll be good? Do we put corn in the ground on day 1 or day 6 of spring and hope that they germinate come day 1 of summer, and hope that they don't try to germinate day 2 of summer? What if they get one stage of growth on day 1 of summer and then day 2 hits 45? Does it kill them off? These are all questions that we need to kind of explore and figure out, and I guess we're going to somewhat experiment and basically see how it all works. So I'd like you guys, thank you guys for watching. If you can, you want to consider looking at some of the YouTube guys that are in my description. They all put out wonderful content, and they all have different unique gameplay styles that might interest you. So I consider you check them out. Also, I'd encourage you to check out the PCSG web community, as well as the 3 Dudes Gaming Network. So I'm just going to catch some of these little bits that we missed when we were free planting this field, since we didn't use courseplay other than the headland, and we didn't use GPS, so there are little bits missing. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick those up, and we're going to do that off camera. So until next time, guys, happy farming.